Hi, and welcome to another lesson of our Codelab. And this time we're going to look at screen sharing. And that's when a user wants to take his screen and share it with a remote side. Tipo, let's dive into the code.
My pleasure.
Now, before we start, a few minor things. There are two ways to do screen sharing. One is replace the video, the local video that I'm sending with the screen sharing, and the other one doing them both in parallel. And we're doing the replacement alternative here, right?
Yes, that is much easier to implement because if you send both camera and screen sharing, you have to decide whether you want different peer connections for that or want to use unified plan for that or plan B, or
okay,
it gets more complicated. So we went for the replace the camera with the screen sharing.
Okay.
So one of the things we need for a replace video track function, and we replace it with another track. So we iterate all our peers, which are all our peer connections. We find our video sender, which is done like this: pc.getSenders.find the sender, which has a track and where the track kind is video. And if we have a sender, we call the replace track function on it with a new track.
Okay, so what happens is this: we've got two separate tracks, one my local video and the other one is my local display. And I would like to take, in this example, let's say my local video and replace it where the with track is going to be the local display video. So the search will find the local video, which is the sender in this case, which we found, and then it will replace it with the track that I have, which is the display track. So it's like I've got a single pipe in WebRTC sending my track, and I simply replace one video with another inside that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we're going to look at the button next. As before, we get the element ID of the button and add a click listener.
Okay.
And we're going to skip over that part for now. We'll come back to it in a bit.
Okay.
So we're acquiring a stream from getDisplayMedia by calling navigator media devices getDisplayMedia with video set to true.
Okay. Now we've got the display. Probably this will pop up a message for the user to decide what he wants to share, the full screen, tabs, whatever. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
The user allowed.
Yeah, the user experience is a bit different in different browsers. So test that in all browsers you want to support. And then we get the track from the stream because the WebRTC API is track-based these days. And we call our replace video track helper with the screen sharing track.
Okay, and that will take the local video, throw it away, and replace it with a display video.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. And we show our local preview and set the source object to the stream we obtained, which is okay to do because we don't have audio on the local element.
Okay. And the idea here, the intent is to show the user on the local video what he's sharing instead of his own video. Okay.
Yes.
And I see now that there is a There's a new listener here, ended.
Yes, yes. That listener is going to be called by the browser when the user uses the browser UI to end sharing, to stop sharing.
Okay.
So in Chrome, you have this thing at the bottom, which has a button, stop sharing.
Okay.
Or in German, Freigabe beenden. And we need to handle that. We set the screen share to null, replace the current local display with the old local camera audio stream, and call replace track again with the video track that we had before, which we have. And then we remove the class list as before that changes the color of the button.
Okay. And now let's go, sorry, yes.
And we store the screen share in local variable and add the class list.
Okay. Now that we have this screen sharing stuff, we go back to the beginning where we've got this if statement.
Yes, because the user might use our UI to stop sharing. And we detect that because if that is the case, if we're currently sharing, screen share will be not null, and we will run into this block. And we stop sharing by calling stop on each of the video tracks we have in the screen sharing stream.
Okay.
And then we replace the local video again. We call replace video track, just as we did at the bottom of the function.
Okay,
these are two ways to achieve the same thing, but they're initiated from different places.
So let's recap real quickly. We've got this screen sharing button. When I press that button, we're going to either screen share or stop screen share. The if at the beginning is if we're already screen sharing, we're going to stop that. Otherwise, we're going to start sharing. The only difference between them is that when we start sharing, we need to actually ask the user for his display. That's the first, get display media line.
Yes.
Okay. And what happens if it doesn't give me the access?
That will throw an error in the function, and you need to handle it somehow. So you would basically do a try catch around that.
Okay. Okay, so that's how we do screen sharing in WebRTC and our Codelab, and we'll see you in the next lesson.